Reviews, the biggest news, the what's new, and the who's who. Welcome to the Daily Gamer Podcast with Joe Mango and James.
Welcome to our first podcast from Daily Gamer with me, Joe Mango, and James. Hello, James.
What's up?
We are joined in the studio today with our very special guest, Erik. Hey, Erik.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Oh, I got it. So from Infinite 8 / Landrocker / Speed Freaks. He does a lot of different things. He is essentially working for a gaming developing company, doing some really cool things. What's your title again?
Chief Business Development Officer.
Exactly. I couldn't remember that. It's a little bit long. But we're doing a topic, all right? Every week we're going to do a different topic. And the topic this week is games that you kind of remember playing, like the first games you really got into when you were young. What would be yours, Erik?
So I remember I played some kind of small games on the computer before, but when I really got into gaming was when I got an N64. As little kids, my brother and I saved up any spare change we could find, and eventually we saved up enough to buy an N64. And, there we would play games like Mario Kart and Super Smash Bros., stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the game that really kind of drew my attention was James Bond. So
I knew you were going to say that.
Oh, man.
I was like waiting as you were N64 and you're building up to it. I was like, he's going to say, yeah, GoldenEye.
Yeah. Especially with the Odd Job. That was my character. So everything James Bond throughout the years, that was my bread and butter. Another big one, I don't know if you guys ever played Time Splitters 2.
No.
Oh, that was still, I think to this day, one of the best co-op games that I've ever played.
Okay.
So it was kind of, you would travel between different time periods and you would always come in. It was a co-op game, so I was playing with my brother at the time. And you would be teleported into this new time period. You'd have new characters, always different weapons, and just kind of go through this co-op story. So that was it for me. Time Splitters. I was always into the kind of shooter games. That was my style.
That was also a stand-up arcade, wasn't it?
Time Splitters. Oh, you I don't know the name of that one. Yeah, I know, with the pedal and it's got
and you
guns.
can just like.
I think it's a different title, but yeah, I know exactly.
I do not remember this one at all, but obviously I do remember GoldenEye. I mean, I have two older brothers, and I remember being quite young. I don't remember exactly how old, and a couple of uncles who were around the same age as my older brothers, and I remember I used to beat them.
Yeah.
And it was the best feeling in the world because, physically they could destroy me, but playing GoldenEye, I had the edge, so that was pretty good. I enjoyed that.
Have you ever gone back recently and played like that GoldenEye N64?
I haven't, but I swear last year someone was petitioning about trying to remaster it and bring it back.
Yeah, I don't know if they did or they're working on it. I know there's a Hitman. You know Hitman?
Yeah.
So I think there's a Hitman style game coming out under that kind of character of 007. So I don't know if there's too many details released about it yet, but
it's probably one of the all-time top games ever.
GoldenEye, yeah.
It's pretty iconic.
It's weird, man. You go back to it now, and it was so magical when you're a kid. But when you look at the graphics today, now that we have such kind of higher quality on Unreal 5, it's crazy. But at that time, it was the best.
I remember I actually did a bit of news on it, I think about 6 months ago or something, and I was trying to find an image for the news article, and I just couldn't find anything that was anywhere near
usable.
Decent resolution. And I remember just going, I'm just going to have to post it, and it's going to look kind of, grainy and bad. But I think everyone still would appreciate it. They'll go like, oh yeah, it's fine. Like, we know that's an old
exactly
game.
How we remember it.
Yeah, exactly. James, go for you. What would be yours?
Well, as the slightly older one here,
it's going to be something I've never heard of.
Well, I did start gaming on the original Nintendo Entertainment System. The game that stood out for me was Duck Hunt.
Okay.
I played some Duck Hunt.
Had the gun. I used to spend hours and hours and hours. The Nintendo did stand out a lot for me, but as I got into PC gaming at an early age in my life, MS-DOS games, that's showing my age. Wolfenstein 3D.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Prince of Persia, platform games, floppy disks.
Oh my goodness, floppy disks. I don't think I ever played on a floppy disk game from what I remember.
No, I used to, I played a game called Carmageddon. I don't know if you remember that.
No.
It's pretty violent.
I feel like I've heard of it, actually.
I shouldn't have been playing it.
No, and you shouldn't have been playing Wolfenstein either. That's pretty bad, James.
Even Prince of Persia was quite quite violent.
Really?
But I used to
It
go
was a
into
different time.
Yeah, I used to take floppies into my dad's office. My dad would have the internet.
Yeah.
in there.
What?
Yeah, and I used to download like extra, like downloadable skins and things for Carmageddon. And
No way.
I go back home, put the floppy disk in, load them.
They
up.
had skins back then?
Yeah, like the car skins.
No way. And they were like selling them for an arm and a leg still.
Well, they're free.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Not anymore. It's how,
Maybe they're NFTs now.
it's how companies like Eric's are getting you, making you pay for extra skins. You know what? Just when you were saying, games that you probably shouldn't have been playing, I remember when I was younger, I was staying at my grandma's house for like 8 months whilst we were moving. And my uncle who lived there had a Max Payne on there. And I think I was about 8 years old. I remember getting on the PC, playing Max Payne, and just spending hours and hours and hours on it. But what I would do is I'd wake up at like 5 a.m, go down and play it before anyone else woke up, and then switch it off before they would get there, so they didn't know that I was playing Max Payne. But that was an incredible game.
Yeah, that game was pretty brutal. I think in that game, like, you would take drugs to heal yourself or go into slow-mo. Like, it would give some positive
that's
effects,
true.
right?
Yeah. The slow-mo was the best part of it, though. Because you would literally be able to slow-mo and then just, like, shoot people through the air while you're slow-mo. I mean, I guess they kind of still do that now, like Red Dead Redemption and stuff.
Yeah.
You can kind of slow-mo.
Yeah.
Wasn't kind of the same as Max Payne, but still, obviously, Red Dead Redemption is an amazing game. But I think going back, like, even earlier, the first games I remember playing, number one, again, this is another story about me beating my older brothers. I remember we had a PlayStation 1, and my brothers had saved up and they got a PlayStation 1, and the only game they had was Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1. And I remember it was like up high on the TV, on this tiny little box TV that was probably like maybe 15 inches or something like that, like tiny PC, monitor. I remember kind of sitting there and just learning how to play Tony Hawk. They eventually came back and they were like, wait, how do you do that trick? Oh, and how do you ollie? And then they just instantly took it off me and started playing it. And I remember that was quite a sad day because I was really getting into it. But again, I was definitely better than them.
Okay, so you taught them a few tricks, eh?
Exactly. And then I think Pokemon.
Pokemon for sure.
It's got to be
the
Pokemon.
Game Boy.
Game
Classic.
Boy. On the
Pokemon
classic
Red,
Game Boy.
Pokemon Blue. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
I started on Pokemon Red.
I was a blue kid.
Someone actually gave me their old red one. It was like a friend of the family or something. Oh, here, I'm not playing it anymore. Here, you play it. I remember getting it. And at the time, I didn't realize how good his account was. He had like Mewtwo and Mew and Snorlax and like all these amazing Pokemon. And I was like, oh, new game. And back then, you couldn't just have more than one game, right?
There's no recovering that.
I remember starting a new game and playing it, and then going. As I kind of learnt the game, I was like, why didn't I just keep this guy's account? But I guess it kind of ruins the fun if you've already completed the game. Right? But yeah, I would say Pokemon was a big one. And then as I got a bit older, I did sink a lot of time into RuneScape.
I played some RuneScape too. I think like the first time I played was maybe 11, 12 years old. I think I still have some friends to this day who are still playing like the old school. I think they re-released the old school RuneScape.
They're still updating it though.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about it earlier. They've got graphical updates.
Yeah, I think it had like a fork. So there's a totally different graphical one right now. And then there's the, I think like 2007 version, which is
they brought out like
classic.
RuneScape 2, didn't they? I think they actually called it RuneScape 2. I mean, I haven't played it in a long time, but I do remember like scamming people on that. Give me that and I'll give you this, and then I take that and run away.
The scans. Did you guys ever play the flower game in RuneScape?
No.
I think they banned it now, but there were like these seeds where you could plant it in the ground, and it either comes up as like red, orange, yellow flowers or blue, purple, white flowers.
Okay.
And so someone would give you some money, and they would say hot or cold. And then if it comes up the red, that's hot. If it comes up the blue type flowers, that's cold. The thing is, so you're supposed to double the money and give it back, trade them again if they lose. But you just have a bunch of teleport tabs or something in your inventory. Quickly hit one. So, oh man, I think I got up to like over 1 billion gold. Way
Really?
back. Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh no, I just had my my adamant skirt. I had an adamant skirt. Someone stole that, and then I never trusted anyone again in that game.
Oh man.
No one like you. It was probably you that stole my skirt.
Maybe. No, I didn't go that low.
Any other games?
I remember. I mean, I started getting into first-person shooters. Really, I was a PC guy, so Duke Nukem, Quake.
Oh yeah, Quake.
Was good.
Quake 2, Quake 3, Quake 4.
All the Quakes.
All the Quakes.
Yeah.
But it's
Never
funny
play
because
it.
now, like, I'm going back into, revisiting these games, and you can do that so easily now.
Yeah.
And
There's websites that have all of them
yeah, and
for free.
on the Switch Lite at the moment, I'm playing through the original Quake, and it runs really well on it. And I recommend it.
Okay.
It brings so much back.
I'll give it a
You guys
go.
ever play Perfect Dark?
Yeah.
No.
That was a sick game. I think maybe also N64.
Was it scary?
No. It
Okay.
was
Sounds
Similar
scary.
vein to GoldenEye. It was kind of like
Oh, okay.
shooter game. You're some agent kind of.
I was mainly a PlayStation guy from a young age. So yeah, I didn't really get to do much of that stuff, unfortunately. I did play one of the really early Halos, and I can't remember what it would have been on what console. Maybe like the first Xbox. Yeah, but I remember playing that, and that was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I played the shit out of the Halos up until I think Halo 3. After that, it kind of fell off for me.
Have you played the new one?
What is the new one?
Halo Infinite.
Infinite. Yeah, I played just the multiplayer because it's free to play now. You can download it on Steam.
Yeah.
Check it out. I played maybe 5 hours or something of the multiplayer.
Yeah.
Didn't get too into it.
It is good fun, but I feel like nowadays the way shooting mechanics and dying mechanics work are a lot different, and Halo kind of didn't change with that. They kept their original kind of thing.
Yeah, that
Which-
like long time to kill, more.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shield thing.
Lots of shield and lots of like jumping around, and it does take a little bit longer and da-da-da-da, which I think is good because they're kind of sticking to their roots, and that's the game that people loved and people want to keep playing that, but maybe just better graphics and, updated stuff. But at the same time, I got a bit bored playing it because I'm like, he's not dying quick enough, and then I'm dying from some random dude with a baseball bat, and yeah, it wasn't for me. But I did start playing Splitgate. Have you played that?
Yeah, that's like a mix of Portal and Halo, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Literally, it's Portal and Halo, and that's really fun because it's like Halo on steroids. You're going through like portals, and you've got sort of the same gun mechanics as Halo, and yeah, I found that more enjoyable than Halo Infinite, unfortunately. But
Yeah, I got to jump in and play a little bit more of that. Nowadays, I think like Battle Royale is the kind of big category. Everyone likes the quick kill times, Battle Royale. You start the game with nothing, and you got to kind of pick up your loot. So then you end up having a kind of different experience every round. Makes it a little bit more exciting.
no, yeah, for sure. And because the maps are so big, you're not kind of getting bored with it because, yeah, like you said, it is a completely different game every single time you play it.
Even a few years ago when it was all about Counter-Strike for me.
Yeah.
As competitive gaming goes, I got heavy into that as
Yeah.
a teenager, and that's different now. Even now, where there's different modes, there's hundreds of different ways to play it now. They still have the original way of playing. But,
Yeah.
And then there's Valorant, which is kind of like reskinned, modernized
Exactly,
with
yeah.
superpowers.
Exactly.
Abilities.
Which I've realized recently I'm quite bad at. I've tried getting good at it. I've been practicing at it, and I've actually been playing League of Legends recently because I've just been like, I'm not good enough for Valorant. These FPSs and these kids just smashing me.
yeah,
Can't do
too
it.
old now. Too old for that.
Too old. My eyes don't work properly.
Slow.
That was one game I never got into. I've never played League of Legends once, which is crazy. But the MOBA style, I don't know. It's just
Well, I played a lot of World of Warcraft.
okay.
And World of Warcraft is a lot of running around, doing your spells and casting stuff. And you've got like in World of Warcraft, the amount of spells you have per character is like just insane. But I played a lot of that, so I feel like I was quite good at that. So I started playing League of Legends and realized I'm actually not too bad at this game considering how bad I was at Valorant. So yeah, I kind of enjoy that more because I feel like I'm slightly better at it.
So what games are you working on right now?
So we have two major projects we're working on right now. The first of which is our metaverse platform. That's Landrocker. And the other is Speed Freaks, which is a kind of racing game which ties in some NFTs, some breeding, some collecting. It's kind of like a mix between Pokemon and Tamagotchi.
Okay, cool. And then the creatures like race each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, very cool. And it's like, sorry, you said NFT.
All of the assets, all the creatures are NFTs. So you can trade them on the marketplace. You can rent them to other players. So it ties in that kind of player asset ownership and being able to make money for the time that you're putting into these games.
Okay, very cool. So obviously you're based here in the region. This is kind of like a double question. So how do you think the gaming scene is in this region, and what made you and your company want to be here?
Sure. So I just moved from Canada about a year and a half ago now. I haven't seen a ton of kind of gaming focus here in the Middle East as much, but I can tell that they're trying to kind of build it up here with the expansion of esports and stuff like that. Obviously, there's a huge focus on blockchain-related gaming, on metaverse. Dubai is trying to be the kind of hub for all of that. So I just came and started working with this company about a year and a half ago, but they were founded in Dubai, and they've been operating here for a number of years now.
How do NFT and play-to-earn games work?
Sure. So an NFT is a non-fungible token. It's an asset that's saved on the blockchain, and it's something that a user can own. So where this comes into gaming is all of your things like skins, weapons, vehicles, all of these things can be NFTs and owned by the player. The player has the ability to sell that, rent it to other players, and they are able to make money while they're playing games, either by earning these assets and selling them off to other players, or also by earning different crypto tokens, the native tokens of the games, that they can then go and trade to other tokens on a marketplace.
Okay, so everything's kind of linked to crypto instead of real money in the NFT games and stuff.
Yeah, everything is linked to blockchain and crypto, but nowadays it's getting easier and easier to kind of go back and forth between that dirhams, for example, and
kind of cheaper right now with the price of Bitcoin and all that.
Yeah, everything is a little more accessible right now.
So just let me get this straight. If I'm playing Fortnite and I get a new skin for my gun or my person or whatever, I can essentially, if Fortnite had NFT stuff in it, then I could sell those as NFTs.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. So it's kind of giving money kind of back to the gamer instead of just playing a game and wasting all your money.
Yeah, exactly. I know. For me, at least, I've played tons and tons of games over the years where I've bought these different cosmetic items, and once you finish with that game, there's nothing you can do with it.
Yeah.
It's just bound to your account, and it's lost money. But with NFT assets, you're able to maybe go back and sell those assets, those skins or weapons or whatever you've collected over the years, to another player, a new player coming into the ecosystem. So you get to get back at least some of the money you put it in, and sometimes even make a little bit of profit.
Nice. Okay, I like it. So how do you think these NFT and play-to-earn games will actually change the industry?
I think it's huge, especially when it comes to the metaverse. So right now, people put so much time into games, and it's just purely for entertainment. But we're kind of realizing that there's a value to that time you're putting into the game, and so the user is actually getting something back in the form of these assets or some crypto tokens for that time, because every game depends on the players, right? You're not going to have a successful game if you don't have players in the ecosystem. So it's kind of giving back to the players.
Nice. Okay, so you should be able to attract a large number of people purely because it's kind of beneficial for them to play your game.
Yeah.
I like it. So you mentioned before that you're creating a metaverse inside your game Landrocker. How does that work?
Yeah, exactly. So I'll explain first what a metaverse is. So basically it's a 3D virtual world that uses blockchain technology to control all this asset ownership and also to connect people with different services. So just about everything that you can do on a web page can be brought into the metaverse. So you can have 3D digital shops where you go and actually physically walk through the aisles, check out some items, customer service. You can attend concerts, fashion shows, and play games. So everything can be tied into the metaverse.
Okay, very cool. And also that game Speed Freaks. Do you want to talk a bit more about how that works?
Yeah, sure. So it's a auto racer game. So you're able to collect these really wicked NFT creatures. And aptly as the name is Speed Freaks, all of these are kind of freakish looking, different cool art styles. And you're able to breed them and put them into races to win some of these tokens through the game ecosystem. And one of the really cool things about that is the way that we've made this NFT collection. So we're starting out with 3 species of freaks that you're able to collect and breed.
Okay.
And each one has different kind of body parts. And when you breed, it randomly selects new body parts. So we have over 1 billion combinations of body parts that are able to create these new creatures as you're breeding. So everyone's going to find these new creatures, and it's very unlikely you see exactly the same one that you have.
Okay, great. And do you want to tell us what the what the social handles are for these, so people can go check them out?
Yeah, so there's a lot of them. Maybe I'll just do the Instagram. So we've got landrocker.io, and then Speed Freaks, I believe, is speedfreaks.io.
Okay, great. Well, go check them out, speedfreaks.io and landrocker.io. And thank you so much, Erik, for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
I have your new gaming releases. First of all, we have Last of Us Part 1, which came out last week. It's a fully rebuilt take on one of the greatest PlayStation releases of all time. We certainly would love to get our hands on this and see it in all its next-gen PS5 glory.
I mean, it is a fantastic game, and I have seen some gameplay of the new one. But it's the same game as they released a long time ago, which I feel like they're milking it a little bit too much here.
It's the third round of it this time.
I think it's good enough, though, that they're kind of getting away with it. But they must be making a lot of money off that still.
Yeah.
What's next?
God of War Ragnarok, another Sony exclusive, releasing next month on the 9th. It's a direct sequel to 2018's God of War from the PlayStation.
Nice.
And it continues the father and son's journey through the 9 realms in search of answers before the end of the world. Ragnarok, which is a series of events, including a great battle that spells the demise of a number of Norse gods.
Nice, I like it. What's his name? Kratos and Arceus. Oh, I was close. Something like that, right?
I could be wrong.
No, well, I mean, the original, well, not the original, because there's actually like 7 God of Wars, I think, dating back a long time. But
2005 was the first one.
Wow. So 2018 one, though, God of War, that got Game of the Year, didn't it?
Yep.
Which is pretty fantastic. Yeah, nice. Any more games as well?
More of an announcement rather than a release.
Okay.
But it's the expansion to the all-famous Cyberpunk 2077.
Nice.
And due for release next year. It'll retain the talents of Keanu Reeves.
Yes!
That's all I know so far. But
I did play that game, and I feel like most people that did play it only played it because of Keanu Reeves.
That's a big draw.
I know, it is pretty good. And so he's actually going to be featuring in the new expansion as well. Like, he's got more of his character kind of carries on.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is a fantastic game. They had a lot of issues when they first came out, but I feel like they fixed it.
They fixed most of it. I've jumped back in a few times, and it's great. It's a fantastic game. It's a great achievement.
Nice. Well, thanks for your new games roundup, James.
No worries. And if you want to know more about what we do, find us on Instagram, Daily Gamer Official.
You can also check out our website, which is daily-gamer.net. Dash is like a hyphen? Hyphen. Daily hyphen or daily gamer.net. We do like gaming news and gaming reviews, and we also do a lot of YouTube videos and stuff as well. So if you want to jump on and you can check us out and let us know what you're up to in the world of gaming. We've also got a Discord you can check out. So we've got it all. I've got some gaming news for you, James. So first up, I've got Assassin's Creed. Okay, they've got a new game coming out. I got to be honest, at one point I was getting a bit bored of all the releases, but then they did the C one. I forgot what it was called now. C something. Anyway, then they did the Valhalla one, which I liked. Yeah. So they've got a new one coming out. It's called Mirage. Okay, so it looks quite cool. It's supposed to be kind of like a bit more of a smaller game compared to their bigger ones, but I'm quite excited to see how they take it. Also, I've got some RuneScape news. All right, they've got graphical updates coming out.
Oh, wow.
James, how old is this game?
It's so old.
It's still doing graphical updates, and they must, if they're doing updates, it means they've still got a player base.
Yeah, they must still have the same developers as well.
Yeah, it is. Jagex.
Yeah.
Jagex, yeah. Pretty crazy. I did sink a lot of hours into that. It did say that they're only doing, I love this, it was like, we're doing graphical updates, guys. And then it said, but we're only doing easy wins, like the lighting and the changing of terrain textures, and maybe some spiky grass and new foliage.
Yeah, little steps.
So they're not really doing much. I don't know how that is kind of newsworthy, but I guess we're talking about it. Also, I've got some kind of like happy news. It's an 85-year-old grandpa, right?
Oh, yeah.
Who has his own TikTok channel where he does gaming stuff, which I think is pretty cool. I think it's being run by his grandson. You can check him out. It's called Grandpa Butch on TikTok. He's got some videos, though, that have got 7-8 million views on them.
Oh, that's incredible.
His most recent one, he got a PS5 for his birthday. Apparently, he's been trying to get one for a while. And he looked like he was about to cry in the video.
Oh.
I know, melted my heart. And finally, there's no Quidditch in the new Harry Potter game called Hogwarts Legacy.
That's
I know.
An outrage.
No Quidditch, but... all right, here is some good news. You can still fly on your broom. Which, in a way, I really like. So you can actually explore, because it's an RPG, like you can go anywhere on this game. So yeah, you can actually use your broomsticks as a means of transportation and exploration, and also taking some broom flight racing.
Oh, okay, that makes up for it.
So no Quidditch, but there's still broomsticks, and it's an RPG,
I'm
and
sure
you can explore.
they're leaving it for an expansion at some point, I reckon.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. They're going to be like, hey guys, no Quidditch. Boom. 5 months in, you're all going to play again now because we've got
Just
Quidditch.
been Quidditch.
Exactly. Well, that is your gaming news.
Yes, thanks, Joe. And we're going to talk about some tech. I have 2 laptops here, both of them foldable.
Okay.
I know they are foldable anyway, but these are foldable screens.
Okay.
The
Makes
Asus
sense.
ZenBook 17 Fold and the Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Fold.
Okay.
Clearly bridging the gap between tablets and laptops. And they even have on-screen haptic keyboards to type away. And
Wait, so when you mean haptic, you mean like when you touch the keyboard, like you can feel it?
you can feel.
So you're touching the screen, and you can feel it response back to you?
Yes, the screen
That's
responds
cool.
back to you,
I like that.
and it folds. That's the main point.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because a lot of people are going into that now, like the tablets that are also PCs.
Yeah,
I can't get into it just yet, but maybe I'm just...
I think it's useful for a good amount of people.
I think I'm just getting old now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
What else in tech?
We've got some rumors coming from the PS5 mill, and they're working on revamping the PS5 design. The internals are getting smaller, and improved cooling is the next step, which also goes alongside the Xbox, which is reducing its size. So we could have a Xbox Series X Pro, which could be something that's maybe more practical for the room, for the bedroom, for the front room.
Look, here's the thing. I know when the PS5 came out, everyone was like, this thing is ginormous. There's no point for it. Kind of agree. But at the same time, I reckon they could have done it before.
Yeah.
But they've gone, you know what, we'll put out a really big one and everyone will be like, about it. Then what we'll do is we'll put out a smaller one and everyone will buy that again.
Yeah, I think that's a technique.
It makes me not like them. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to play on PS5 and Xbox.
Yeah, you're still going to buy one.
Yeah, well, thanks for that, James.
Thank you.
I've got your top 5. We're going to do a top 5 every single week, and it will kind of change around. But this is my top 5, James. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So these are the biggest games coming out before 2023. So we are in September already, so only a few months left of the year. But there's still some really big games that I want to talk about. Number 5. So I'm starting with number 5. We've got Skull and Bones. So this is a new open world pirate game by Ubisoft. A lot of people are saying it does look like the Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Yeah.
But still, it does look cool, and it is a lot different. So it's kind of more of a realistic take on the pirate battles on the high seas, promising a solo campaign as you fight for control over the 18th century waters. Now, when I did look at some of the gameplay for this, it is quite cool. You actually, as you progress, you start in like a little dinghy, right? And then you like get enough money, you buy a cannon, and then you start getting a bigger boat and a bigger crew. And you've actually got to keep your crew happy whilst you're doing it, which I think is quite cool. So if your crew are unhappy, you might get a mutiny on your hands, which I think is cool.
Is this multiplayer, do you know?
Yeah, so it's online, so you'll be fighting against other ships as well. There's bounties that you need to go and do, and you can earn, gold and stuff for that and upgrades and stuff. If you do get blown up, you don't have to start again, but you will kind of lose a bit of progress, and then you have to kind of build up again. But I think you still have your ship and stuff. Yeah, you're just, a little bit damaged. Cool. Number 4, A Plague Tale Requiem. So it's a bit of a surprise sequel to the original, which came out in only 2019. You'll be following the same 2 heroes who will have to do whatever it takes to survive in the game's brutal world, full of a literal sea of ants. I looked at the trailer and the gameplay today. There is literally, not ants, rats. Why did I say ants? Rats. I mean, kind of the same, but they're a lot more annoying. But literally, the game looks like it's just rats everywhere, and you have to try and escape these rats whilst also like fighting other people.
Yeah, I did play the first one. You had to scare away the rats and make a path with fire. This is quite hard, but it's really good.
Sounds fun though. Number 3, we got High on Life, which is the upcoming comedy adventure from Rick and Morty creator Justin Roiland. You take on a role of a high school graduate turned intergalactic bounty hunter who takes on the alien cartel. He also has some interesting weapons that actually talk to you and have a lot of rude language. It's definitely not a PG game, but it does look a lot of fun. Massive one in number 2, we got Modern Warfare 2. After 13 years, Modern Warfare 2 is back. Probably COD's most anticipated one coming up this, for recent years.
Yeah,
people have been a bit disappointed, to say the least, of everything that's been coming out, and they've seen a huge drop in sales. But hopefully this will, maybe they can redeem themselves with this. But I'm hoping that it'll be as good, if not better, than the original. And yes, I am talking 25 kill streak nukes. All right, because that's what I always aim for when I played. And number 1, you spoke about it earlier, but it's got to be up there. God of War Ragnarok. It literally broke the internet with its latest trailer. Like you said, Kratos and his son Atreus facing family strife as they take on a bunch of gods and try and stop Ragnarok, the impending doom. So yeah, pretty good, and expectations are high because it was game of the year back in 2018 for the previous one. So yeah, that is your top 5.
Plenty to look forward to.
And that's pretty much it for our first podcast. Thanks so much for hanging out with us with everything gaming right here at Daily Gamer. But make sure you do follow us on all of our socials.
Follow us on the socials as Daily Gamer Official and our website, daily-gamer.net.
Yeah, we do loads of gaming reviews, news, like pretty much anything that we find interesting or funny in gaming. So yeah, make sure you check it out. And we'll see you next time.